Hello everyone, welcome to Piccadilly Stampin'. So I am going to just see if I can get this up on the laptop so that I can maybe see if I've gone live. Come on in. If you can see me, let me know. Oh, there I am. So I did go live. Okay. So, hi Bill, hi Jean, hi France, hi Laura. Welcome everyone. Hi Jackie, hi Beverly. So I am seeing some people. Okay. So if you're new, be sure to say hello and like and follow us. So we're going to go right into kind of what we're doing today. Last week on Friday, I did my card layout 60, and I want to just kind of point out a couple of things. Here was the card that we made last week. Okay, so card layouts are about interpretation, and you don't have to do them exactly the way the card layout is. Now on mine, I wanted the beautiful free DSP that we get through Celebrations right now to show. I was using the back side, so I didn't put the mat that is in this layout, and I moved the sentiment area up so it kind of covered that because I don't have any measurements on here. That way you can make it your own, as wide or as small as you want it. And as you can see, mine was a little bit wider. That's why I didn't do this, and I don't have as much space in the edging. I just have it matching. Mine also has the floral image going the other way. So that was last week's. Now today's, I'm going to do the same thing. I just kind of reached in and pulled out. So this is my layout 57. Now on this one, you can look at a lot of different interpretations of it. I have on here image and sentiment. If you need to switch that around, that can be switched around. On this card, it's showing a light background, but tonight, or today, I guess, it's only 4 p.m. here. So I don't know where you are in the US, but it's 4 p.m. here. I'm going to do a dark background. I don't have star things, but I have circles, so I'll be using those. And instead of, they've got like a cord, I'm going to give an option on ribbon. So I want to just show you this to start off, and then I want to explain what I'm going to be doing. First of all, I'm going to set this aside for a moment. First of all, oh, the other thing that I want to talk about is, on the last one, it had mats, and I chose not to do mats. This one doesn't have mats, and I could have chose to do mats. You've got the light and then the two colors of DSP or of cardstock, however you're choosing your layout to go. But today I'm going to follow this pretty much exact. Remember also when you're doing layouts, so it's showing circles. You can do ovals, you can do squares, you can do hexagons. Whatever works for you is going to be, the layout is just there as kind of a template to get you going. So, and I've chose kind of a different than what I would have normally done today. I do want to show you the products that we're going to be using. I'm going to be using for the sentiment. This is free in our Celebration catalog, sending support stamp set. So we'll be using that, and I'm going to be using the free DSP, and this is the, I think it's, let me make sure, Favored Flowers. I was going to say flavored. Favored Flowers. I always forget that one. And so on this paper, I've decided to go purple. I wonder if Jean's here, because she loves purple. So as you can see, I've cut out a flower, because instead of a circle, we're going to do a flower with that. But I'm also going to pair this. This is a very feminine, I would say, DSP or designer series paper if you're new to this channel. And so that's where you find them. I don't have anything in the mini catalog. I'm just going to be using those. It's a very feminine DSP, but this DSP that I have a little bit of comes from our Ready to Ride designer series paper. And let me just pull this out really quick. I want you to see it. This one is kind of about motorcycling. So I don't do that. I don't really have anyone in my life right now that I would be sending cards to that does motorcycles, but I was involved in a paper share and I got a half a share of DSP this year. And so I always like to find a way to use this. So I'm going to mix this, which by the way, it does have a little bit of a shimmer to it because it's got some, I don't know if it's foil paper. I think that's a black foil paper on here. So I'm going to use this in combination with that really feminine. So we're going to take the masculine and the feminine. So let me just pull out my stamp pack here. And let's just start with the card base. So I'm using the basic black card base. And I chose this because of the deep dark DSP that I'm using. And I'm still going to make a feminine card with it, even though I'm using dark colors. So it's very easy to start off. And let me just pull my little trash bin here. And just fussy cut. Now while I fussy cut, I think I'm going to pull this down. I want to talk about how I could have added, like, this is the metal plate. I just got this. I could have added this to the background of the card too, just because you are doing a card that doesn't show a texture in the layout. That's where your own creativity comes from. So some people ask me how I got started with this. Most of my cards come from a layout. Some of them I create, some of them I copy. My most favorite ones are Mojo Mondays. I think I really like Mojo Mondays. And sometimes I follow it just like the layout, and sometimes I just do my own thing, and that's okay, because that's where creativity comes in. We don't want to have our cards look like everyone else. Now, I know that we see a card and we want to copy, and that is fine. The big thing that I'm going to start doing, I believe, on Fridays here is talk about casing a lot and why it's so important. So especially if you're a new card maker, casing is important. And let me just stop. Casing stands for copy and share everything, or copy and selectively edit. And I love the selectively edit because you don't want to copy everybody and you want to have your own creativity. But here's why casing is so important, and especially at the beginning, when you are starting out stamping. It is important because it teaches you your own stamp style. Now see, I just have a little black ridge around there. First tip, whether you stamp something out and it has a white ridge around it, I usually try to do a white background, or maybe it would sit on a white circle or something. But since this is going on black, no one's going to be able to see how I cut that out unless they're really dissecting it. And most people don't care. They're just thrilled to have a handmade card. So selectively editing, whether you're using an embossing folder on it, you could, quite honestly, maybe your sentiment was enough and maybe this was a piece of DSP with coordinating cardstock on this. You could have done like where the image is, something embossed on that, and it could be a textural thing. So this can be very subjective. Now, I also have here, this doesn't have measurements, so I went with 1.5 inches by 4 and 1 inch by 4. Very simple. This is the other side of a piece of that Favored Flowers DSP. So let's just start here. We know, now I could, if I wanted to, I could put maybe, this looks to be like a rich raspberry, blackberry bliss type thing, or maybe even a fresh freesia border around it, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna leave it like it is, and I'm gonna look at how this is set up. Okay, so I'm gonna do it probably like this. And I'm gonna go a little bit farther than what this is, only because I'm gonna add ribbon to mine. So let's start here. Most of my cards are made from a card layout. This is something that I learned a while back. I'm in a group called Casing Tuesday, so every Tuesday I do a case card from the catalog, from the Stampin' Up! Catalog. And this really taught me my own stamping style, because the first time you case, not doing something exactly like you see a demonstrator do, but maybe do more of a, okay, that one's going to go over there. Using a layout the first time, they kind of come out weird, and you're thinking, ugh, that doesn't look like what I thought it would look like. And I can see throwing, you know, like, oh, maybe I'm not good at this. Don't stop. Casing and using layouts teaches you your own personal style in the end. So I am fortunate enough that I get to work from home. Thank you, Bill. I know I saw you on here earlier. He's watching. He's actually smoking some meat this afternoon, so I'm going to have some nice dinner tonight. Okay, I'm going to use the stamp, and I've just taken a piece of fresh freesia, and this is from the Stylish Shapes dies. It's one of the smaller ones. It's like the third from the middle, and I'm just going to use black ink. I want to make sure I've got that good and inky, but this has got some very fine lines. Small stamp, small pressure. So the reason I went ahead with the, circle is because even if I would have stamped it crooked, circles are very forgiving. So my shoulder is yours is what this sentiment says, if you can't read that. Two things. I've got some silver. Purple and silver and black go very well together. So I can put this, and I did that on my last card, or I could use the fresh freesia. Now, the thing is with the fresh freesia, I felt like it drowned it out because this is the open weave ribbon, and so it's very sheer in that middle, and I felt like that drowned it out. So I didn't use it. I am going to use, but you could if you had a solid that matches. Okay, so I always do a little extra on this stuff because sometimes I need to adjust. I want to do, before I get everything on this card, I want to add this on and get it tied where I need it to be tied and trimmed down so I can see how things look. I love this ribbon quite a bit because it adds that shimmer, but also, let me move this over here, it fluffs out so pretty. So, and it ties up. It just takes a little more work than my average. But my suggestion is definitely give yourself enough ribbon to make this, because it takes a little bit of back and forth adjustment. So while I'm doing this and getting this on here correctly, I want to say definitely do some casing. I love it when people case me and they say, oh, I tried that, I loved it. Thank you. That is a compliment. That does not make me feel bad in any way, shape, or form. So case away and tell me how it goes, or what you learned, or what you liked, or what you didn't like, because we all have different tastes, right? It's very important to case, and then you learn what you like and what you don't like. Okay, so I can tell you right now, I do have this fairly tight, but I'm going to grab this whole thing and move it up. There we go. Just because that's what I like. So I love how, if I want to, I can fluff that up. And this mail's flat, so don't worry about it because it fluffs right back up. It's easy to fluff right back up. Okay, there we go. So now I've got that on. And just so you know, because I don't think I mentioned it, this is, what is it called? Metallic mesh ribbon. It is in our annual catalog. It is 1.5 inches wide. Okay, I'm going to push this over to the edge. So I've got, it's a deep dark card, which is not how I would have interpreted this at first, but I'm more doing this, I'm less trying to show you a card and more trying to show you interpretation. So I'm going to use this for this image. I'm not going to stamp anything. I totally could have, and I would have probably if I wouldn't have been trying to think about how to make this a teaching video. So I am going to adhere this down. My preferred glue is the Tombow liquid glue, just because I live in a very humid state, winter and summer, and it doesn't peel up after a month. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals. To the back of the other side of the circle. And this is, again, a fresh freesia circle. And just like how it is there, I'm just going to add this over and off to the side. And then, my very favorite, and I think I am going to go, I'll use my take your pick tool, just like this. So I've had like 3 or 4 people ask me where to find my layouts. I finally figured out how I'm going to display those and where you can get them as Pinterest. So if you go to Piccadilly Stampin', I put 5 on today. I'm going to slowly start adding them up. But here is this card layout in an alternate way, using 2 different sorts of DSP that coordinate, that, you know, this isn't, I don't know, I say this is feminine, but it's kind of an edgy feminine card, maybe. I like the fact that it says, my shoulder is yours. You could, on the inside, when you put your white piece in before you do, maybe add a piece of matching DSP, and possibly even, you know, cut out one of the smaller images of the flowers, so that you can add on the inside. And you could put a matching piece of DSP on the envelope also. So I hope this gives you kind of some things to think about, mixing DSPs, trying different embellishments and fibers or ribbons on here. Cordage would be fine with this. This, I would have totally done this card completely different. When I saw the first image, this was more about, like I said, kind of teaching you about card layouts. I will be adding card layouts. I'm going to try to add 4 or 5 every day. And all you have to do is either save them to a file on Pinterest if you're on Pinterest, so that you can refer to them. I myself have been printing them out. I do want to show you something. I like to have it in front of me. So before I started doing my own, I have a file. This is just an old file. So here's one from Sweet Sunday. And this is what I have been doing. I find these that I like. This is Mojo Monday again. I love Mojo Monday. So here's another one. You know, yeah, I got a lot of Mojo Monday. Here's one that I've done on several cards in the past. This is another Mojo Monday. I just love the layout. I have a Sweet Sundays, another. You can find these on Pinterest. This is where I have found a lot. I think, I don't have it right. I thought I had one like this right in my card deck. But if I find something that I like, I save them. And then I started figuring out that I could make these for you, put them all in one place. and share. So that's what I will be doing on Fridays. I try to do like card techniques and stuff on Wednesday nights if you watch me on Wednesday night. So I'm Wednesday night 7 p.m. Central, Fridays at 4 p.m. Central, and then if you're in my VIP group, it is 4 p.m. Central on Mondays for a private one that I don't do a video on for anyone else. So that's what I have for the card layout today. For those of you who want to stick around for the announcements, I just have a couple. Sign up for my newsletter. You can sign up right here on Facebook, or if you are using a pad or a mobile device, you know, like your phone, you may want to go to a computer. It's just so much easier. Go to piccadillystampin.blogspot.com, and there's a sign up there that is much easier to get to. I don't know why Facebook is so challenging sometimes. New catalog launch party. I got a few spots left if anyone's interested in that. This is, normally I do a celebration appreciation. This year I'm trying something different. I just want to have fun with people who like to stamp. So if this is something that you're interested, watch for this. I'll post a link tonight to that. And then the last thing, if there are any of these products that you would like to order, if it's under $149.99, please use this current host code. I pin them to the top of Piccadilly Stampin' wall, and there's a link so it adds it in for you. And last but not least, any order over $80 using that current host code will get you a stamp pack. So I have some that I just finished up today that'll be put into the mail for tomorrow. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you're learning stuff. Keep leaving me questions. I've had a lot of questions, which helps me get ideas of what you guys want to learn. And I will see you next week right here. Thank you. Bye-bye.